Hello fellow duelists, I'm Rakamdar and welcome to my channel. Today I finally have another Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel video to share with you guys that is specifically going to talk about the normal rare event. I know it's been a hot minute since I last uploaded a video. Unfortunately some life things happened as well as kind of getting addicted to Elden Ring. My initial plan was actually to release a couple of Elden Ring videos before returning to Yu-Gi-Oh! But the things with the life events and whatnot kind of put a stop to that, put a pause on my Elden Ring content. Some of that's going to takes a little bit longer than working with Yu-Gi-Oh! Due to the extra editing and such. So if you are interested in Elden Ring content, I will let you know that will be probably, that'll be some stuff that I'll be releasing in the future. So if you want to see that, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Helps the channel out a lot and you'll be notified when Elden Ring videos are up. But for now, we are going to work with some Yu-Gi-Oh! This is going to be a little bit of a filler video because I don't really... it's going to be a live commentary video. I'm not going to do a ton of editing here. I'm not going to, throw this... I might not even throw this into the editor at all. It might just be a raw live video here for you guys, kind of a filler to try and, get some content out. It's been a month. I try to make a video per month. And so I do want to try to get this out, while I work on the Elden Ring stuff in the meantime. Lots of stuff, with my personal life happening, car problems that I had to do, dealing with a new roommate, dealing with a bunch of financial things. So just trying to get all that situated, kind of puts a little bit of a, makes it so that I can't work fully on the editing as much as I would have liked to. So we're going to do this for now. Next video will be an Elden Ring video, and we're going to kind of go from there. So without further ado, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the normal rare event. The normal rare event is something that I was honestly quite surprised when I had so much fun with it, right? Like I knew it was going to be an interesting event, so I was actually kind of, I knew I was going to enjoy it. It's still Yu-Gi-Oh, but I honestly didn't expect it to be nearly as much fun as it really was. I really liked the accessibility of the event, unlike some other, unlike the main ranked ladder or the XZ event, some of the decks were a little inaccessible because they required, super rares and ultra rares, especially for the XZ's event where it's like, you're not really going to use that deck for longer than a week, if that. It's a limited time thing, and sure, they could probably rerun the Exceed event, but like, why would you want to waste all of your resources on a deck that you might only play for a week and won't get to play for another, another 2 months or so, and whatnot? So I really... there's some problems there. And of course, the main ranked ladder, if you see a deck on like a content creator's channel, you'll be like, I really want to play it, but I've already used up a lot of my resources. I'm not sure if I can actually afford to do it. But when you see a content creator make a deck for the normal rare event, bam, you're all good to go. You probably got thousands, if not, thousands and thousands of the normal rare points. And if you don't, you probably have plenty of normal rare cards to go disenchant that are not going to affect anything in terms of your main decks, and you can easily craft a normal rare a deck list from that. So it's very accessible, and that gives a lot of opportunity for people to kind of experiment. It makes deck building really fun, and I think that's honestly one of the things that I've really enjoyed about watching a lot of the content and even playing it myself, is seeing all of the different varieties in deck building that people have done. I know, of course, Metal Foes and Megaliths, both of those strategies are a little bit too much right now. They're really strong, really powerful, and they do a lot of things that other decks can't deal with. But other than those, it's ultimately been a pretty fun time trying to figure out how to deal with certain strategies, and kind of think through and, puzzle. It's kind of like a puzzle to try and figure out how to optimize your deck with the limited resources that you have available. So I've really had a blast with that. I've played a few different decks. I played Ancient Gear, no, not Ancient Gears, Ancient Warriors. That was a really fun deck I played. I net decked that one. But this one is actually, I'm gonna play a few duels with my DDD deck. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at it real quick here. We're not going to play the loner deck. We're going to check out DDDs. This is the deck that I chose to start running after a little bit. I started off with I think I did a little bit of Marincess, which was a pretty interesting archetype that looked like it had some fun cards available with only normals and rares. But then I switched over to Ancient Warriors because they also had similar, accessibility to their engines and their combo pieces. And plus that was just one that other people have already played, so I kind of had an idea for it. And then this one is kind of my new deck to mess around with. I actually picked up a complete DDD deck list. I worked on that shortly after with my Salamangreats. So I do plan to return to Salamangreats and hit Plat 1. So that video will still come eventually. I can't make any promises on when it will come. I do want to hit Plat 1 with the Salamangreats because that's a fun deck. It's one of my favorites. I really enjoy it. But after that, I was like, I want a new deck, and I really kind of want to mess around with pendulums, but I also don't know if I want to work towards the Pendulum Magician. So I actually built a fully powered DDD. Well, it's not full power, but it's like most powered. So I'll show it real quick. Will of D edit deck, and I'm a One Piece fanboy, so I'm gonna make a meme about it. But anyway, this is kind of the deck that I net decked off of one of the content creators that do DDDs. I'm not very familiar with the deck list or the deck, the archetype. I like it a lot because it's basically everything. DDDs are an everything deck. They have pendulums, they have links, synchros, XCs, fusions, normal monsters. They have pretty much everything in a single deck type, and I actually find that incredibly interesting. So I built this deck, and I wanted to build a more DDD focused deck. I wanted to focus on the DDD monsters and not, I know I can put in like Borreload Savage Dragon and other things like that are more generic type cards that can deal with a lot of different things. But I actually wanted to mess around with some of the DDD exclusive cards and find a deck list that was more centered around making DDD powerful in and of itself. Obviously, staples like hand traps don't count because you're gonna, do that. But in terms of like the core of the deck, I wanted to focus more on a lot of the DDD stuff. But DDD is really complicated. It is a very there's a lot of memes surrounding the complicated nature of the DDD deck type. They have so many options, so many tools to go into different combo pieces, so many different things that they can really do. So it was right down my alley, and it really felt like something that I wanted to mess around with, kind of have like a really high skill ceiling, even though the skill floor might be equally as high or just as difficult to obtain. So I wanted to mess around with that. And when I saw someone actually build a normal rare version of the deck, I was incredibly excited because this gives me an opportunity to mess with DDDs without having to face off against like full power Eldritch, full power, whatever they're called, the Heralds, whatever, Drytron, there we go. Forgot it for a second. Full power Drytrons, full power Tri-Brigades. I don't have to worry about those really oppressive decks that would require me to play to the best of my ability. I can play these, get a feel for how the archetype wants to do things, get a feel for how the combos and how the strategies work out. Unfortunately, some of our best fusion monsters, or all of our best fusion monsters, are super rares, but we can still do a lot of really fun things with this deck. So I'll run through it real quick. I don't know enough about it to really give you a full breakdown like I did with Salamangreats, but I will go through each one of these, and I do want to show it off, each one of these. That way you can see what cards I'm running if you want to build the deck yourself. I know one of the frustrating things when I'm watching some other people build decks is they'll leave the picture up, and then I have to they won't ever click on that card, and then it's really frustrating to try and match each card together. I'm like, okay, that card, oh, that looks similar, but that's not the same artwork. I'm trying to do that with like the tiny little card arts, and it's kind of annoying. So I want to click all the cards for you so you can actually see which ones I'm using. But yeah, so this is the archetype. We do have Savant Kepler. This is going to be a searcher. This one gets us into fusions and it can banish from the graveyard for fusion, so it kind of gives us some extensions. Lamia is a tuner, but also has a special summon condition by discarding, so more extensions. And that's kind of a nice thing about DDDs is they have extenders within their rarity, low rarities, and that gives us a lot of opportunities to play through powerful cards that are common right now, like Torrential Tribute and such. So we have DDD Ghost. This is another tuner, and it's also lets us send a second copy of a card. So if we have Necroslime in the graveyard, you can send another copy of it. You pick a card that's already in your graveyard, and you can send another copy of it. So sometimes that's useful, especially if you have like Necroslime in there. You can get another copy to make sure that you can synchro or fusion summon multiple times. Night Howl. Haven't really. This card allows you to special summon monsters from your graveyard, which is really, really nice. Cerberus. This card is pretty nice. Whenever it's summoned, you can do stuff. And honestly, we're not using pendulum effects very often. A lot of these cards we're going to be prioritizing their monster effects. So this will just add some cards to our hand if we need to it from our graveyard. Most of the continuous traps or continuous spell cards if we need to. Doesn't come off very often, just kind of a level 4 that we can use. This card will allow us to send our contracts to our graveyard, and that's pretty nice. Normal and special summon, and then again, we don't really care about the pendulum effects, so we're not going to really worry about it. Orthros is nice. We can use this to remove spell and trap cards in the pendulum effect. This is probably the only pendulum effect that you really worry about. This is a Puppet Master. This is a non-DDD card, and this allows us to special summon fusion cards from our graveyard in order to go into some more plays. This is a pretty nice card that allows us to work on getting into our Xyz monsters and such. We have DDD Savant Nicola. This card will allow us to grab pendulum cards if we need to. A lot of these effects I haven't really kind of resolved. Most of the important cards are these ones up here. Kepler, Necroslime, Lamia, and Night Howl. We have the pendulum monsters are kind of there mostly to kind of fill out the rest of the deck, and occasionally some of them might pop up, but for the most part we're working with our fusions into our extra deck monsters. We do have 2 copies of King Dragon DDD Dragon King Pendragon. That's a mouthful. If this card is in your hand, we can tribute another dragon monster in order to special summon and one other fiend monster from your hand. Special summon this card, and then you can use this to discard and summon and destroy spell and traps. We don't really use that special summon condition. That's a pretty hefty one. We also don't run a lot of dragons. I think this is our only dragon, and we kind of want this on the field. I'll talk about that in a second. Doom King Armageddon. Once per turn, this is a hand trap. This is a hand trap. Once per turn, if a monster you control destroy a battle card effect, you target one of those monsters until the end of this turn. Not a hand trap. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Don't worry about me. But anyway, this is kind of just more material to kind of work with. It's a pretty strong monster. We can put it in the pendulum effect if we really want to, or we could use if we can summon it in a way, we can make it'll be immune to spells and traps, which is really, really good in this format because pretty much everything right now is spells and traps, torrential tribute, all kinds of different things. It's only destruction immune, so compulse is unfortunately still a problem, but besides that, we can still kind of work with it. We have 3 polymerizations because unfortunately we don't have a lot of ways to fusion summon because Necroslime is gone. So Necroslime is usually the card that you fusion summon with, but that's a super rare. So polymerization instead. 3 copies of our other fusion card, Dark Contract with the Swamp, and that is in there to allow us to fusion. 1 copy of Dark Contract with the Witch. This allows us to, this is the one that destroys. Yes, this is the one. You send a DDD or Dark Contract card from your hand to the graveyard, and then you can pop a card on the field, which is really nice. Very, you know, quick play removal is pretty good, especially since we're in a, you know, a lower tiered format where a lot of that stuff is not very accessible to a lot of decks, so it's nice to have some options. And then this one I think is pretty nice. If you control a DDD monster, you can negate all spells or all trap effects on the field other than this card for the rest of the turn. You can activate this whenever, and so this can be pretty nice in order to deal with the prevalence of traps. So I will admit, though, I have not faced off against Pendulum or Metal Foes or Megaliths while playing this deck, so I don't know how well it really faces up to it. I assume it's not going to be that great because those decks are pretty oppressive, if I'm being, from what I've seen. I haven't actually played against them yet. But Metal Foes goes crazy, Megaliths go crazy, and all that. So here's the extra deck. We're playing 3 copies of Oracle King Diark. This is just there to kind of work into our Xyz monsters and be a 2800 beater. It's also kind of nice that we can gain life points based off of the negative effects of our continuous cards. Just a quick reminder for anyone not familiar with DDDs, all of our continuous spells make us take burn damage during the standby phase of our turn. So all of these cards will force us to take that burn damage, and it can kill you. Very much so, especially if your opponent is doing some good things and managed to get a chunk of damage. And this also costs 2,000 life points to activate its effect. So this deck really kind of burns itself out in order to go for really big, powerful, strong, really powerful plays. But this card allows us to transfer that negative life points into positive. This will any effect damage instead heals us, and so this is actually pretty nice. If we have like a copy of this and a copy of that, you can gain 2,000 life points if this is still on the field. So that can be pretty nice there in terms of making sure that you're not going to burn yourself out very hard. But ultimately, we're just here to kind of use it for other fodder. The only reason we're even really using this is because our main fusion monster that we would be using instead is banned because it's a super rare. So the usual fusion monsters are the Flame King Genghis, and unfortunately those are banned, so we can't actually use them. And then we have Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. This is going to be a spell, an Omni Negate. So this is actually a really nice card to go into if we can facilitate that negation. So we'll talk about that in a second because it has a necessary combo. We have 2 copies of this Pendulum Fusion monster. I really like the extra deck Pendulum cards. I think they're just cool as hell. I don't know, there's something super awesome about like the white kind of fading into the blue, and I just really like it. I think they're aesthetically pleasing, and I think they're some of the coolest cards. But this one, whenever you can target a monster, destroy it, which is really nice. And then you can also do some other stuff here, do some attack position stuff, and I believe, yeah, you can if this once per, this is in the Pendulum Zone, so don't really worry about that. Whenever these cards do die, they go to the Pendulum Zone. You can place them in the Pendulum Zone instead. So that can come up, but usually it's not too relevant. 1 copy of Gust King Alexander, 1 Meteor Burst Dragon, 1 Supreme King Dragon Clearwing, and this one's a really good one. We can destroy all face-up monsters our opponent controls when it gets synchro summoned. So there are some janky ways we could potentially go into this. I haven't actually used it very often mostly because I'm not very good at the deck and I haven't figured it out. But yeah, so DDD Super Doom King Bright Armageddon. Yeah, these the names are so over the top. This one, I believe, this one allows you to okay, so it negates the effects. I know one of them allows us to like be unaffected. Maybe it's the Xyz monster. Evil Swarm Nightmare. This is a potential 4 we can go into. It's a quick play Book of Moon effect, so that can be really nice to have some interruption on our opponent's turn. DDD High Wave High King Caesar. These names are something else. This is a pretty solid card. I really like it, but it's very difficult to go into with this version of the deck. Usually we go into this with that other fusion monster that we usually have access to, but we don't in this. Most of the time we're getting into it with 2 copies of Puppet Master. It's still a really difficult card to pull off, and for good reason. It is a spell, it's a Omni Negate spell trap card, or a monster effect is activated. That includes an effect that special summons a monster, which is a lot of them, but not all of them. So it does have some downsides, but you know, it's a good card. Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. This is a decent 2800 beat stick that we can summon into, but we're also going to be using this for its secondary effect. And then we have Super Doom King Dark Armageddon. This is the Xyz monster, Xyz Pendulum monster. When this card is Xyz summoned, you can attach 1 face-up DDD monster from your extra deck to this card's material. Pendulum monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. So that is pretty nice. I think it was this one where you have the protection from card effects. So, and then you can detach a material, target monster your opponent controls, equal to the number of pendulum monsters you control, destroy them. So that's actually a really nice effect. So if you can get this guy off, this one's a little trickier. It is a rank 8 though, so you can potentially, 2 level 8 DDD monsters, which this is a DDD monster. So there we go. So that is all of the cards. Our last card is Gravity Controller. And this is so that we can send Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon to the graveyard. So basically, this needs a non-link monster in an extra monster zone. So we're going to summon Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon into the extra monster zone, link it off into Gravity Controller, and then this has a graveyard effect to special summon 1 Odd Eyes monster from your extra deck, which we will be using to summon Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. And this has... whenever an opponent's effect is activated, we can shuffle a face-up monster from our extra deck, face-up pendulum monster from our extra deck into the deck. So that's basically our. This is the card we ideally want to be able to go into, while also having pendulum monsters in our extra deck in order to facilitate the negate, which actually is a little trickier, a little harder, a little more difficult to pull off in this version of the deck. But if we can get those in there, then this card is fantastic. And so that is how we summon it. So that's the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I gave you a little bit more rundown than I expected because I just kind of got into it. But again, there's a lot of combos. There's a lot of, things with this deck I'm still learning. And so we're going to learn together. I'm actually going to play a few duels here live, raw footage of me just kind of commentating over them while I'm playing them live. I'm going to be learning the deck and such and trying my best to give you guys how I'm thinking, and maybe that'll be entertaining or informative or whichever, and we'll go from there. So, first duel of the NR Festival. Let's go. Rakamdar versus Denny Chump. Got the car, and I got the Ash Blossom. So our opponent is telling me to go second, which is honestly not terrible. This is not... we do have abilities to set up a strong board going first, but ultimately, we kind of want to be able to go second. There is a lot of benefit to going second for this deck. Namely, the extra card is nice. But, of course, most of the decks right now are running trap cards. And so having the, not being able to set up a board before they use their trap cards can be pretty difficult. So once per turn, activate the card quick effect. Push some level 2 lower dragon monster from your deck. That's neat. Alright, Puppet Monster. That's pretty nice. So unfortunately, we do not really... So if this card is special summoned, so this can send a Dark Contract card from our deck to the graveyard. It can send a DDD or a Dark Contract card. So we can actually try to facilitate that. When this card is pendulum summoned from the hand, while you control a DDD monster other than Cerberus. So we might be able to get our continuous card if we really want to. So this is a scale 8, scale 6. scale 1, and we have actually the tools for a pendulum summon. So that's quite surprising if I'm being honest. So let's go ahead and set our scales. Hopefully that, what does that do? Oh yeah, he can choose to respond to this. This is the same thing as activating a spell card. So it does give my opponent a response in that regard. So, but yeah, I'm actually pretty happy about that. 1 to 8. This will come in handy, I feel, because we can summon the Copernicus and the. Oh, he's actually just going to get rid of it. Man, that's kind of annoying. Target a face-up spell or trap and destroy it. This is a really good card in this event. Is this a normal? This is a rare. That's kind of frustrating, if I'm being totally honest. He does have to discard a card, so he could not summon that. I don't know what that card is, but I do have the ability to go into another pendulum summon if I really want to. So, oh, that banishes it. Damn, that's kind of wild. Actually, it would have gotten sent to the extra deck zone, so that wouldn't have mattered. Because I wanted to try and puppet master it back to the field, but it does. Yeah, so unfortunately we can't do that. We do have the Lamia. Let's see. So this is a level 1 tuner. I'm not too sure how. While you can target one continuous spell card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. We don't have the ability to facilitate that. I do think. I'll go ahead and set this part of the scale. So this is kind of where the trickiness comes in. Because it's like, do I want to actually pendulum summon and get that facilitated, or do I want to place up on the field to the graveyard, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field? I really think I need to activate this card if I'm being completely honest. Because, yeah, that kind of sucks. I actually need to get something into the graveyard to start comboing. And so that is going to activate that. But this is a level 6, so we could. Yeah. So we're going to send a copy of. Yeah, we're going to send the. I think we send the Necro Slime. Yeah, we have to send the Necro Slime. And then he can do something here. You can target 1 level for graveyard. Special summon it at the start of the battle phase. You can return this card to the hand. Special summon it much from your hand or graveyard. So he doesn't have the other stuff. Yeah. So can he really do something with this? Oh, he can send a card. And he sent a level 7. No, he sent a level 3. Huh. Alright, so now we activate this effect to send this to the graveyard. And we're going to special summon. So we have a tuner, level 1 tuner on the field. We don't have a rank 5, but we are going to go into. We're going to activate Necro Slime in order to fusion Shokan. Our level 7 here. So we banish that, banish this. Go into our DDD Oracle King Diok. 2,800 attack points. And it does not look like I have the ability to do anything else, which is kind of not good. So the thing is, like, if these cards get sent to the graveyard by whatever capacity, I will be able to do some stuff. So I think. They sent the top 3 cards of his deck to his graveyard. I just realized that. He's actually playing. So I want to get rid of this card, I think. They're going to battle. Right, so this is Dragon Monster from the deck. So I think we actually get rid of this. So hopefully his back row card isn't nothing to stop this. It does look like it will be. Is this a dragon? It is a dragon. Wow, that's kind of annoying. He's gonna send that back to my extra deck. Wow. Maybe I should have went first. I could have set the card. I could have set up. That is mad annoying. Alright, because it goes to my extra deck, which means I don't have a means of returning it to the graveyard. Man, bounce effects are so good in this format. And I don't have any capacity to go into anything else. Which is very, very unfortunate. Now, what would be nice is if I could get another pendulum card, another one pendulum card. Just gonna summon that again. Special summon a level 4 lower dragon type monster. Man, he's popping off. I'm quite surprised that Dragon Link is this good. Or not Dragon Link. Dragon Link would be insane. I'm quite surprised Dragonmaids are this good without their... Because I'm pretty sure they're like boss monsters that are ultra rares and stuff. But I suppose, yeah, they have like their main deck monsters. So they kind of go back and forth. It's pretty wild. They're going to be able to destroy Lamia, which I will be able to activate from the graveyard in order to summon, but I don't have any good synchros. 10, 8, 7. I had an 8. 1 tuner plus 1 non-tuner dark pendulum monster. Oh, okay. So this card... That card needs a pendulum monster. Which would be... I don't know. What's my options in that regard? Yeah, I don't... So I could have Lamia, and then I have to have a non-tuner dark pendulum monster. Do I have a level... I do have a level 8 non-tuner pendulum monster. That's true. Or level 7, I think. So, we'll see. Looks like they're recycling their trap. I might actually just lose here. Yeah, this is probably going to be lost. There's really nothing much I can do here. So, very unfortunate. I have no idea what kind of stuff he's doing. He drew another one? Are you kidding me? Or did he search it and I wasn't paying attention? I have no idea what Dragonmaids do. I'm gonna go into that. That will go to the top of my extra deck. Going to destroy Lamia. If I could... I really... Oh, that banish? Oh, I did use its effect. No. I think that's it. I think that's GG. Does he have... He might have lethal now, if I'm being honest. Man, that initial... Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Going first like that, or going second like that, that is one of the downsides of going second. And especially getting that banished. I actually didn't even really think... I keep forgetting what the staples are. This is a really big staple. Yeah. So I gotta remember that. There's... I don't think I have a single play. So, bye-bye. GG. There's nothing I can do. You banished my stupid card. But I do want some of the points, so please just kill me so I don't have to deal with anything. Just battle phase. Just battle phase, man. Come on. Give me my 50 points. I trusted you. This is not the time to show me that you know how to combo. I've already seen your combos. Thank you. Alright. That is a GG. Versus the Dragonmaid, which is kind of powerful. That's wild. I didn't realize Dragonmaid had so many of the good normals and rare cards like that could facilitate such a strong presence. All right, so our opponent's going to choose. We are going second once more. Yeah. I mean, it might not be modern Yu-Gi-Oh, but going second is still really bad sometimes. So yeah, we have another Savant Copernicus. I need to check the deck and see if I have a Dark Pendulum monster. How do I access the Dark Pendulum? Alright, so he's playing gadgets. So the gadget deck is one of those pretty combo-y decks. They use the gadgets to kind of cycle through their deck constantly. Alright, so 2 back row cards to play around with. We did draw the Puppet Master. So I think we're going to... When this card is normal summon, you can target 1 DD monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Okay. I'm actually cool with that. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the continuous spell. Don't put the continuous spell in your pendulum scales, by the way. That is something I always forget about. That is something I always forget about. So 2 DD monsters. I'm going to send this and send this. Boom. DDD Oracle King Dark. And already with this stupid Dino-Miscus. Come on, game. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to... I think we're going to activate this and then normal and then grab that back. So we'll normal summon this. And we'll... Ooh, I can go into a 10. Is that... Do I have access to the 10? Let me double check. So 3500, 1 DD tuner, which that is, and 1 non-tuner DDD monster, which that is. So I think we can go into the 10. We can also use this to destroy 1 spell or trap card on the field. So I think I might... Does this negate the effects? Special summon that monster? No, it does not negate the effects. So we can actually do it that way. This would guarantee something, but we're not going to do it. I think we need to activate this. And then we activate this effect. Discarding the Copernicus. Destroy a card. Destroy that. Oh, that's really nice. And then we Synchro Shokan into level 10. Doom. Oh. Super Doom King Bright Armageddon. Make your opponent choose 1 pendulum monster they control and all other monsters, blah blah blah. There's nothing I can do here, but it is a 3500 attack monster. Thankfully, that should keep us alive. And this cannot be destroyed by card effects, no? Cannot... Oh, my opponent cannot target monster you control with card effects. Okay. Okay. So this will special summon. So we can't be targeted. That's actually really good. And we got rid of the lightning storm. I don't know why he would set that. That is very bad. he would easily be able to put me in a bad spot. This is a level 1 pendulum, so this actually could be useful if we drew some other things. But we can also banish cards. Going into that, what does that do? Ha ha ha, you can't target. Let's go. You can't target. Untargetable. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. We got our victory. Opponent is surrendered. The power of the untargetability. Thought he had me there. Thought he was like, I see your boss monster. I'm going to remove it. Boss monsters are much harder to remove. I'm gonna play. It's already. I know this is kind of reaching pretty long, but I want to get to the 8,000 mark on this video. So I'm gonna try to see if we can get another quick victory, or maybe 2 duels, depending on if this one is a loss. We'll try to get to the 8,000 mark. Try to show off the deck as much as I can. Cause that was awesome. I really liked that kind of stuff. It was just like the boss monsters when you're playing this format is actually pretty crazy. So we're going first, which again isn't the worst. We don't have a ton of ways to draw into interruptions. And holy moly, we actually drew into nothing. Oh boy. So, this can go into the pendulum scale. So this is a level 6. We need level 7 to get the level 8. Do we even have one? I don't know if I even have one in the deck. Kind of unfortunate. So we will be... Yeah, so I think we just have to set one card and pass. That kind of sucks. That really sucks. That is a terrible opening hand. Especially drawing this, because we don't really... Like, this card is not the greatest. Alright, Iron Chain Repairman. Okay, once per turn you can special summon level 4 lower Iron Chain monster from your graveyard. So this is a new archetype that I'm not familiar with, but he does. You have some back row. Again, these are staple trap cards, so just like in modern Yu-Gi-Oh where you would see hand trap staples to deal with, you're going to have to deal with these hand trap or back row staples. Compulsive Evacuation Device, Paleozoic Dynamiscus, Torrential Tribute, Trap Holes. I think some of those are pretty popular. Lost Wind. All of those kinds of vehicles. All those kinds of cards are things that you will see. So this is a level 8. Okay, so we don't have a level 7 monster, no? So this cannot be destroyed by spell or trap effects. That is pretty good. So, okay, so this card is target 1 DDD monster. Control returns to hand if you do place. They cannot. This is a level 4. Or a pendulum scale 4. We don't really need that. So I think we'll just summon this and beat over that. Because I don't know what any of these are, but we don't really have a ton of options. I don't want to use the Puppet Master this turn because the Puppet Master is needs a card in the graveyard, and I can target 2 fiend monsters, so I want to definitely utilize the Puppet Master when I have 2 fiend cards to actually summon. So okay, so he's going for the Paleozoic hallucination, whatever. A lot of Paleozoic trap cards being thrown around in this event. This one halves my attack, which kind of sucks. I don't know why he didn't do that in the damage step, though. Like, you can use this in the damage step. Because now I'm just not going to attack. Alright. So is there any good pendulum effect here? You cannot pendulum summons except DD monsters. Discard one DDD monster and then target one level 6 or lower DD monster control. So I could discard this. But I actually think I want to have this on the field. So we're going to try to summon Doom King Armageddon. Because I could pendulum scale this, discard this. Oh, I can. So I think I will do that. I think we'll do that because we can use Puppet Master in order to... Okay, so he's got another Paleo card. Discard one Paleo card, draw 2 cards. So he looks like he's playing a heavy Paleo deck from here. So he's going to be able to special summon this Paleo back to the field. I definitely want to kill this card. Hopefully he doesn't have... Hopefully he doesn't have another Paleozoic hallucinogenic or whatever it's called. So yeah, we can discard the Doom King, put that in the graveyard, and that way when we summon our Puppet Master, we will actually be able to special summon it. Now there is a potential... There is an avenue where I fusion summon here. So what do I need for the fusion? This is 2 DDD monsters. And this is a DD. So triple D cannot... Double D cannot be triple D, but triple D can be double D, something like that. So if it says it needs 2 DD monsters, this would count. But since it says it needs 2 triple D, this does not count. So we're not going to actually use that. We're going to go into battle. We're going to destroy this card. I don't really care about the Paleos. Hopefully this card is not something that he can do. I actually really don't want this monster to be destroyed, but I do think I want to pressure. So we'll see. And what did he has 2 of these in here. So we'll see what this is. So this is target 1 spell or trap card on the field, destroy it. Well, that's kind of annoying. But ultimately, it doesn't do anything. He's going to be able to special summon another Paleo. Thankfully, there's no totally awesome for him to go into and kind of ruin everything. So, we'll see how this goes. Put that to the top, continue, destroy this, boom. And then we'll go into the end phase. So now we have a card. We can tribute summon over this, special summon from our graveyard, and hopefully that will do some stuff. And we have 2 pendulum cards in the top of our extra deck. So if we can manage to make our rank 7 stuff happen, oh boy, we're in a good spot. Because we can go into Vortex Dragon with 2 negates. 3 negates, because this will go to the extra deck too. So that'll be pretty wild. Let's see what he summons with the rank 2. Or a Link 2, Defender of the Labyrinth. So that kind of sucks. Hopefully he doesn't have... This card is in your owner's position is destroyed. And then this just lowers my attack points. And my guy's connection is not great. So he does have a tuner. And it looks like we are safe. He's got 2 more traps. So that kind of sucks. I mean, you can give this card 300 attack defense. But that's still not going to be enough to destroy my card, which is great. So we're good. We're good. We have tools. All right. All right. All right. All right. Boom, another Puppet Master. Not what I wanted to see. Not particularly what I wanted to see. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all. But I think we just have to go for the tribute summon. Boom. Select. So bring those back. They can't attack this turn. So that's unfortunate. And we don't have any of our tools. I wish we had like a polymerization or something. Like that would be so nice. Just like 1 poly. Like we have 9 cards. What is that? Okay, so Oasis of Dragon Souls. I know that from Duel Links. So this is a monster reborn, but requires it to be in defense. So not sure why they're going straight into this option, but I would have. I mean, there's not going to do anything. So this is probably a Paleo card. Oh, he's going to summon the Paleo now. Maybe that's why. Maybe he just wanted to trigger the Paleo for stuff. Then there's this card. Target 1 spell trap card in the field. Destroy it. So you're stopping your own card? Question mark? Like this has to stay on the field to resolve. It's a continuous spell, so it has to stay on the field to resolve. He's really just wants his Paleos to the field. Okay, so putting them all to the field. Destroys that. Put another card to the field. Unfortunately, can't attack this turn. Boom. Boom. Yeah, so we shall end our turn. So this will unfortunately go to the top of the extra deck. And we actually won't be able to... We can go into Puppet Master. And I think that will let us go into the rank 6. 2 level 6 Fiend monsters. We can Puppet Master into Puppet Master, rank 6. Okay. So we'll see what our opponent does. I don't think he has the ability to clear our board. And this will be pretty nice, having the rank 6 option available. And this will be level 8. Alright, I think we'll see what our opponent does. I assume he's got good, some extra deck to play around with. I'm going to go into a Link 3. Please don't have more. Oh, he's actually... What? Going into Psyframe Lord... Okay, he's synchro summoned Psyframe Lord Zeta. In attack position, ban the top monster and this card from the field. Return them in your next standby phase. So he's going to banish that, which is... I'm okay with that, actually. I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with that. We can do the Puppet Master play. We can actually go for the Puppet Master play. Because we can use... And then... so this one... Okay, Cerberus. This is a 6. So when this card is pendulum summoned from the hand while you control a DDD monster other than DDD Cerberus, target one continuous spell in your graveyard. We're not really going to find that, but we can pendulum summon if we put this on the scale. But I think the play is to rank 6. Boom. I've never had this card before. And the thing is, oh, we can't actually, never mind, that is mistaken. We actually won't be able to, we will not be able to fusion with the Puppet Master. But that is not a card that can just stop us, so we are good. And we can have the Defender of the Labyrinth destroyed to get rid of its stupid effect. And then you can target one non-effect monster in your graveyard, special summon it. He has only effect monsters in his graveyard. So that should be fine. Should be fine. We are good to go. He is cycling through all kinds of paleos and whatnot. So we'll be fine. We will be fine. So we can go into DDD Wave High King. I activate the overlay network. I overlay my 2 puppet masters to exceed Shokan. DDD Wave High King. Cast Caesar. There we go. So I think, yeah, we'll do battle. Boom, get rid of that. Back to 2800. So this is when a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated that includes an effect that special summons a monster. So I think, I don't think that actually counts for the Zeta, because it says returns. But return them in your next standby phase. Yeah, so it returns them to the standby phase. It doesn't actually special summon them back. It says returns them back. So I think that this is unfortunately not something I can negate with my Caesar. But anything else, you know, if it can special summon a card, we just negate it. Boom. Yeah, so he's going to probably... Yo? Didn't read the card? Didn't read the card? We are good. This will negate the Paleos. This will negate the Paleos because they special summon... they have an effect that includes special summoning. If I'm not mistaken, that should negate all the Paleos. I think... It's hard to tell sometimes with the Yu-Gi-Oh logic, but I think that's how that works. Alright, come on. You got 2 cards in hand. Do you have a Synchro 5? What's the dealio? What's the dealio? What is this? He does have a Synchro 5? He does have a Synchro 5. Mechanoid Magical Android. 2400 attack. He's got the face down card. He's got the face down card. Okay, so we have... Okay, we got the slime. So he's going to gain some life points. That's cool. He's got a lot of stuff going back and forth. I'm okay with this. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Polymerization! Let's go! Let's fucking go. That is exactly what I need. Let's go, my friends. So polymerization. Top deck. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to synchro or fusion Shokan. We're going to fuse our hand together. Ugh, I didn't mean to. Yeah, what is that? The Deep Grave. Target one monster in either plays graveyard during your next semi-phase. Special summon it from the graveyard. But that doesn't stop? I can negate that too. I will. I'll just negate that. Boom. Effect to special summon. We'll stop that right now because he doesn't have a ton of cards in hand. That also prevents him from getting his Paleos from the graveyard, because I blocked it with the chain. Oh, but he didn't actually have any in the graveyard. Lol. I probably should have summoned the Cerberus so I could put it in the top of my extra deck, but I think that's fine. Boom. And then we have Necro Slime. Or, yeah, it is Necro Slime. Don't negate that. Summon. Select. Boom, boom. Another to face up attack position monster. So our opponent should... This is it. I think this might not be game. I haven't calculated it. 400. Yeah, I think we might. He'll probably survive with like a little bit left, but we can go into our other negation. We'll be able to. Okay, yes. Opponent surrendered. Woo! Let's go. I think that's a good place to stop it here. That's a pretty lengthy video, so apologies for that, but. We got some good wins. I got to show off the DDD normal rare deck, which I am actually really happy about, because I really have been, like, this has been the most fun I've had with the normal rare event. So I'm really enjoying myself here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to show you off here. Here's the deck list once more if you guys want to cop a look, see what it's all about, and have yourself a fantastic day or fantastic night, whichever. And without further ado, I'm going to sign off here. If you enjoyed the video, it would mean quite a lot if you liked the video down below. It really helps the channel, helps the video within the algorithm and all that jazz. And it shows me some support. So if that's something, if you did enjoy the video, please go ahead and do that down below. And then of course, if you want future content, feel free to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon. Elden Ring content will be the next video released. I will be getting to that. Excuse me. I will be getting to that very shortly. So I hope you can enjoy this small, quick filler and whatnot. And then I will, of course, after some of the Elden Ring content, I will be getting back into plat climbing with Master Duel. So again, I'm done rambling now, so without further ado, thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later!